The men that you date are just aspects of you. They're literally just an extension.
I had a few commenters on my last video where I talked about my conversation with the guy on the phone and how I was realizing that he's probably emotionally unavailable, but I'm going to go out with him anyway tonight. And I had commenters that were like, why are you going out with him if you already know from like just out the gate from your conversation with him that he's not emotionally available? And this is why, because I've grown so much in the last 6 months, and I do feel like I've healed a lot of my inner wounds. I have become more open. I've become more vulnerable. I feel like I have fine-tuned my communication, my emotional availability. I want to go out now and see the type of men that I attract, and if these men are like me. Do they reflect the growth that has happened? And if they don't reflect the growth that has happened, can I recognize that right away and get rid of them? I will say from my initial conversations with this guy I'm going out with tonight, I think that that is where we are headed. But I'm learning how to go out and date and profile people, for lack of a better term, and figure out if my intuition is correct. I don't want to judge, and I don't want to act from a place of trauma. I had a lot of haters on my last video post comments that have now been folded by TikTok, but basically accusing me of trying to avoid intimacy and being scared of intimacy, and therefore making excuses as to why I can't like certain men or why I shouldn't date certain men. And I take those comments as being somewhat valid. I think trauma can scare us away from having vulnerability and having connection in relationships. I certainly have been a hermit for the last 6 months for that reason. Instead of replacing my ex and trying to get somebody else to distract me from the pain of the breakup, I went single and in hermit mode for a very long time to heal. And now I feel like the requisite healing has been done and I'm ready to date again. But I also want to make sure that I can be vulnerable, that I feel comfortable being vulnerable. I want to make sure that I'm attracting the right type of guy, and if I'm not, I recognize it right away. I want to listen to how I feel in my body when I'm sitting across from him and compare that to my initial premonitions just in talking with him. This is all research. I by no means profess to be some sort of dating expert. I'm not. I'm taking you all on the journey of dating after healing, after awakening, after becoming a more shrewd and self-respecting woman. Not accepting breadcrumbs, recognizing toxic behavior, recognizing narcissists. And I'm letting you in on the journey.